Say it again.
We are the smart ones. Now, election coming up. This is the important stuff. You've heard all the inspirational stuff from really good speakers today, but let's look at the nuts and bolts of what needs to be done. Firstly, you must turn up. You must turn up on the day and vote, and you must bring a pen. Don't use a pencil, bring a pen. Doesn't matter, black, blue. Take a bunch of pens with you, a fistful. Hand them out. On the white paper, you're better off putting 24 votes under the line. And do not select the majors in that 24. On the green one, find Liberal and Labor. Put them last, and it doesn't matter what you do above that. Put those two last, and that is the most important and powerful thing you can do. It doesn't actually matter about the other ones. There's a strategy to it. Libs and Labs, all right? The Liberal and Labor Party initially appeared to be different, but they are in fact the same. They are two wings on the same turkey. They are the same, so we need to put them last. That's why they're called the Lib Labs, right?
Lib Labs.
And yes, there are, look, I don't need to tell you guys here what to do with the Greens and the Nationals. You already know that. But we do have voters that don't understand that. The most important thing, Lib Labs last, trust me on that, and not at all on the white paper. Now the other thing you need to do is we need people at the pre-polling booths, because all we have there are Liberal and Labor people handing out how to vote cards. We don't have people supporting at the pre-polling booths our freedom parties. So get in touch with them, get down there and start to see if you can assist them. Take a couple of packets of pens, hand those pens out. That is a great way to introduce yourself to someone. They don't need how to vote cards, they just have to put Liberal Labor last on the Greens and nowhere on the white paper. And that's the message we need to get across. Guys, if we can just do that and we can support our pre-polling, that's going to be a vital tool, because at the moment they've got the upper hand on pre-polling. Now before I go, I also want to put a little picture before you, as I usually do. Doesn't matter if you're a person of faith or not, but most of you will know the story of Jesus when he's going out on the lake, on the Sea of Galilee with the disciples, and he's asleep in the boat. And all of a sudden there is turmoil, there is a storm raging, and the disciples become fearful, as any of us would. There are waves crashing over, there's spray, there's wind, and they're horrified as Jesus sleeps in the back of the boat. Now, biblical stories can have many, many layers to them. And what I want to suggest to you is that when the disciples rushed to the back of the boat to wake Jesus and to calm the storm, there's a message for us in that. Because we're all going through a storm right now. And we just need to go within, and we need to calm that storm. And we need to no longer succumb to fear. We need to be courageous, and it's with courage in our heart and knowledge in our mind that we move forward. Because fear locks us down and shuts us down. So whether you're a person of faith or not, you can still understand that message. So today, guys, I just say God bless you and God bless our nation, and thank you to Max so much for everything he's put in. And a legend of a bloke.
Oh, thank you. Guys, there's a certain procedure to the way we organise these things in terms of the speakers, the procession and the dealings with the police and everything else. And many people say, who cares, just do what you want, stay here all day, stay here all night. You know, unfortunately, we can't do that. We don't want to do that, because at any opportunity, they're waiting to call us conspiracy theorists, extremists, nut jobs. They're waiting for us to get angry. They're waiting for us to be agitated. They're waiting for us to break the law. We don't want to do that. We push the envelope. We make our voices be heard. We do things the right way, the humane way. Now to wrap up, this hasn't been easy for me. I front up and I've been fronting up for the teachers ever since August last year. And my wife and 2 kids, 3 days before Christmas, we had to move. And we were literally living out of a suitcase for 4 weeks. I kid you not. My good friend, John, had some space at his house. We stayed there for 4 weeks until we were able to move into a new place. Now the death threats, the trolls, the haters, the accusations, the false allegations, everything comes with the territory. You guys, I'm sure, cop it. You get ridiculed. We all cop it. But I still show up. And what we have to do, there's a lot of healing to be done in this country. Between us, between our neighbours, between our friends, between our families. Now, prior to being a teacher, I was only a teacher for 4.5 years. I didn't even get to 5 years. Prior to that, I was a boxing and weightlifting coach for 20 years. And I learned some hard lessons along the way. And one of those lessons is in life, you got to thicken your skin. You got to broaden your shoulders. You got to straighten up your backbone. You got to stand proud, because it's not going to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. And you've got to just show up and put up one damn fight. And every day I've carried that. I've been called the most filthiest things that you could ever imagine. My wife as well. And she says to me, Mac, when is enough enough? And we know it never will be enough, and we do this for the children. But what I want to say to all of you now as we wrap up, you've got to rise above the garbage. You've got to rise above the noise and the toxicity. You've got to stand strong. You've got to stand united, because we are in one hell of a fight. And I'll tell you now, last year, our backs were up against the wall. They really were. But one by one, we came together. Rally by rally, we came together. Now, all the freedom organisers of rallies, they may not always agree. They may be bickering and so on, but we're all on the same side. We have held the line, we have pushed back, and we have reclaimed that line that government overstepped. Make no mistake, when your friends and family that are at home that believed the narrative for 2 years say to you, why are you protesting? It's over. We've got our freedoms back. There are no more restrictions. We're out of it. They have their freedoms because of you, because you showed up. When they think they have their freedoms because they complied and did the right thing, that is rubbish. They have their freedoms. They're allowed to go to their weddings, their birthdays, their football games, and everywhere else, and the kids are able to go back to school because of every single one of you, your boots on the ground. That is why. Not because they complied with 2 vaccines and then a booster and QR codes and all the other nonsense. Because of you. You contributed to that fight. I don't care how big or small you are. I don't care how much money you have. You're not alone. And they will never, ever be able to measure the size of your courage, the size of your heart, the size of your determination. When you just make a decision, you make up your mind, you get out of bed and you say, today's not the day where I give up. Today's the day where I pick up my shield and I pick up my sword and I don't give these bastards another inch. Because that is the only way we're going to get through this. Now when I put the call out, and everyone put the call out, I knew Sydney would show up, and they did. And it's 3 o'clock now. Some people showed up at 11 o'clock, which has been a long 4 hours. What I need everyone to do now, you've got plenty of photos, you've got plenty of footage. Share it, put it out there, show the numbers, put it out there, share it with your family and friends. Volunteer, go to the polling booths, pre-polling, help out the freedom parties. Australia, this isn't over. Next week, we will, give me one last time and I need it loud. Sack them all! Sack them all! First of all, I want everyone just to put their hands together for Suzanne Priddle from the Youth Advocate. She does a lot of work protecting children. And I'm driving a truck these days, 6 days a week, to pay the bills. And I had no time to go through all the admin, the Form 1 with the police. Susan stepped up to the plate and said, Mark, just let me do that. Let me handle that. Australia, when you leave here, take this rally with you. Take it with you. Everything you heard, everything you felt, everything you experienced, take it with you. Make a difference in your lives, in your friends' lives, in your family's life. And we will have hope to save this bloody country. Thank you. I love you all.
Sack them all!
Exactly how am I going to get it? When I called Matt and said, lift your right, and tried all three people together, he said, Suze, organise it and I'll get the people there. I'll tell you guys, we were organising the rally for the Opera House, straight down George Street. The police said no. Guess where the next one's going to be? Let's take them on! This week, they have announced that they will be approving the vaccine for the 6-month-old to 5-year-old. It's not happening. Next week, you're going to sack them all. Get rid of them. They are not taking our children. It's not on, and we're not letting it happen. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Matt, for the best day I've had in a long time. Just my Glenda wants to say one more thing, and I again want to thank everybody for coming. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to fight this fight.
If you're in Canberra,